Hello students, let us see what is the meaning of objectives and goals. So usually both of these terms they are used interchangeably, they are considered as synonymous, but they are really synonymous or are they different? Let us try and understand. So what are goals and what are objectives basically? A goal is considered to be an open ended statement of what one wants to accomplish with no quantification of what is to be achieved and no time criteria for its completion. Whereas objectives are the end results of a planned activity, they state what is to be accomplished by when and should be quantified. Now, to understand these statements even better, I'll give you all an example. Say a XYZ company, they make a statement that we want to increase our profitability. Now, what percent of profitability they want to increase, how many years they want to increase in, nothing is specified. The statement is just that they want to increase the profitability. So this statement it cannot be quantified, so it becomes a goal. So a company just stating that they want to increase their profitability is a goal. Whereas if the company makes a statement like this, we want to increase our profitability by 10% by the end of next year. If they specify this, then there is a time frame given in there and there's also the percentage of profitability that they want to increase. So this is quantifiable. So that is why it becomes an objective. So I hope you all understood the difference between the two. A goal is simply a open-ended statement which cannot be quantified. There is no time limit specified, nothing. Whereas objectives are quantifiable. All the details with respect to time, percentage, everything is mentioned. That becomes an objective. So basically, let us try and understand what is the difference between goals and objectives. Goals specify what an organization hopes to accomplish in a future period of time. They represent the future outcome of the efforts you put in now. Whereas objectives, they state how these goals shall be achieved. Objectives are specific. As you can see, they are specific and concrete, that is, they are not flexible. Whereas goals are generalized. Thus, objective makes goals operational. If there are no objectives, then your goals cannot be accomplished. So, objectives make the goals operational. Moving on, goals are qualitative in nature. Okay, they are qualitative in nature, whereas objectives tend to be quantitative in specification. That is, they can be measured and compared. So, your performance can be compared and measured taking into consideration your objective. For example, you made a statement few months back that in your final year semester exams you are going to score a 80 percentage. That was your objective. Okay, your goal was to get a distinction basically. Okay, then the actual performance you got 76%. So maybe your objective is not met of 80%. How much you fall short to meet that objective, it can be measured and compared. But your goal of getting a distinction is accomplished. So that is the thing with respect to goals and objectives. Then goals are broad organization, whereas objectives are narrow. Why, I'll tell you. Now, example, take into consideration industries like Reliance and Tata. They are into different product lines, different industries, right? So the goal for the entire industry or the entire Reliance industry will be one. The goal cannot be different for different industries. It will be one. But the objectives for different industries will be different. They are into petroleum, the objectives will be different over there. They are into fresh foods, the objectives will be different over there. They are also into clothing, fashion, so the objectives will be different over there. So, according to the industry, the objectives will be there. But Reliance industry as a whole will have just one goal. Then goals are long-term results, okay? Whereas objectives are immediate short-term results. Objectives are set for a year or less. Objectives are not set for 5 years, 6 years. Objectives are set for a year or less. Moving on, let us try and see what are the roles of objectives. Okay, the first one is that it defines organization's relationship with its environment. So basically, it states what an organization has to achieve for its employees, customers, and the society at large. Second is it helps the organization to pursue its vision and mission. Okay, so by defining the long term position that the organization wishes to attain and the short term targets to be achieved, objectives help an organization in pursuing vision and mission. As I had told you all before, that vision and mission statements are devised first, and based on the vision and mission, the goals and objectives are fixed. So if a company knows where it wants to be in future and it knows what it has to do today to ensure that they achieve it, it obviously helps in the overall vision and mission achievement. Okay, then the next point provides basis for decision making. So objectives, they specify what needs to be done in order to achieve the organization's goals. Thus, objective helps in laying down strategic policies for the organization. And the last point is it provides the standard for performance appraisal. So, performance appraisal. Okay, by stating targets to be achieved in a given period of time and the measures to be adopted to achieve them, objectives, they lay down the standards against which the organization as well as the individual performance of the employees can be judged. In the absence of objectives, an organization would have no clear and definite basis for evaluating its performance. As I told you that objectives, it can be quantified, okay, and it can be measured and compared. So once you can measure and compare the performance of not only the organization but also the employees working in the organization, performance appraisal becomes quite easy and quite fair, in fact. Moving ahead, characteristics of objectives. The first one is that the objectives should be understandable. Because objectives play an important role in strategic management, they should be understandable by those who have to achieve them. Say a chief executive says, say a chief executive of a company says the following statement: something ought to be done to set things right. Now he has not mentioned what thing should be done and what needs to be set right. There is no clear communication. So, first of all, nobody will understand what he's trying to convey because he has made a very vague statement that something needs to be done and things have to be set right by doing that thing. So, since it is not understood by the person he is trying to communicate it to, subsequently no action will be taken because there is a lot of confusion. So, the person will not take any action or he might take a wrong action. So that is the reason why it should be communicated. Objectives should be communicated and it should be understood by the party to whom you are trying to communicate. Because if you make such vague statements, not specifying what things you want to change and what has gone wrong that you want to set right, there will be a total mess. Moving on, the second one, objectives should be concrete and specific. To say that a company plans to achieve 12% increase in its sale is certainly better than stating a company seeks to increase the sale. The first statement implies a concrete and specific objective and is more likely to lead and motivate the managers. As I have told you should frame objectives which are concrete and specific. Specific in the sense the time frame, the percentage, everything needs to be specified. So if you make a statement like a company seeks to increase its sales, it is open-ended statement. It's up to the person receiving your message to interpret it. He can interpret it as 5% increase in sales, 2% increase in sales, 1% increase in sales. So you need to be very specific and concrete with respect to your statement. So if you had to communicate it, you should have specified what percentage of increase in sales you want. Then moving on to third, this is the continuation of the second point. You should also specify the time frame. Now in this example I told you it is always better to specify how much percentage increase in profits you want. Like the statement I told you which will be appropriate is that a company plans to achieve 12% increase in its sales rather than just specifying that a company seeks to increase its sales. Right, that is what we discussed in point 2. The point 3 states that you should also mention a time frame. So a better statement will be our company plans to increase its sale by 12% by the end of 2 years. So you are giving them a time frame so they also know what they have to do and by when they have to do it. Moving ahead, objectives should be measurable and controllable. So, measurable and controllable in the sense I told you all, objectives are quantitative in nature. So, it should be possible to measure and control the achievement of the objectives with other companies in a particular industry. Obviously, you are going to measure and compare your performance with your competitors, right? If you are in fashion industry or in clothing industry, you are not going to compare your performance with a company who is into petroleum industry. So obviously you want to measure your performance so that you can compare it with your competitors in the same industry and control or alter the things which are not giving you desired results. So objectives should be measurable and controllable. Now objectives should be challenging. Sometimes what we may do is we might set some objectives which are not challenging enough, or we might set objectives which are completely unrealistic, not within our reach at all. So there should be a fine line The objectives should be challenging, but not too challenging as well. So that is the thing. Now, example, say you are an excellent student. You have achieved 75% in your previous semester. The target that you set for the next sem is 95%. This is a little bit unrealistic because you have been 75% student. You cannot get 95% overnight. Okay, so that is completely unrealistic. Now, moving on to the next aspect. Say you set a target 50%. You are a 75%. Why are you setting a 50% target? So that is not challenging at all. So the first objective that you set was too challenging, 95%. And the second objective which you set was completely very low in challenging aspect. So it was completely unrealistic, not that challenging. So you have to set your objective somewhere in between, maybe 85% or maybe 80%, something in between being too challenging and being too dull. Let's move on to the next point. Different objectives should correlate with each other. So, organizations may set objectives in different areas because there are different departments in an organization, different product lines in an organization. So, each department and each product line will have its own objectives. The marketing department will have its objectives, the production department will have its own set of objectives, then the purchase department will have its own set of objectives. Okay, so all these objectives should correlate with one another. Now, example, say the marketing department insists on a wider variety of products to cater to the variety of market segments, whereas the production department it demands for uniformity. Okay, standard product. It demands for a standard product uniformity because they want to achieve economies of scale. So they have to trade off somewhere in between and correlate with each other. Because if they are not correlating, their objectives are completely opposite and there will be a havoc. The seventh one, that is, objectives should be set with constraints. This is the last point. Now, every organization has some internal constraints and some external constraints. Now, I told you at the beginning only that the resources which are available to the organization are quite scarce. So that is a internal constraint which the organization has to take into consideration before setting their objectives. Now, what are the external constraints? External constraints are legal requirements or consumer activism or environment protection. These are some external constraints. So whatever business you are doing, you have to take into consideration all these things and go ahead with setting your objectives. Example I'll give you all with respect to ITC, that is Indian Tobacco Company. Initially it was a tobacco manufacturing company. It was into cigarettes. With lot of legal intervention from the government side, it had to then venture into other product lines. Now they are into FMCG, hotel industry. They are also there into this stationery. So they have now ventured into different product lines, but initially they were just a tobacco company. So with government intervention, they had to change their objectives and venture into different product lines. So that is with respect to different characteristics. So that is all with respect to objectives and goal. I hope you all have understood the difference between objectives and goal, that both of them are different, they are not synonymous and cannot be used interchangeably. So that's it for today. The assignment with respect to this class will be uploaded on Google Classroom. Thank you.